It's from our friend Merlin Wendelboe. Hello, Merlin. Good to see you. Has Darth Vader Ginsburg resurfaced, or has the story of her death been buried? And if she is incapacitated, is there a legal mechanism to replace her? That's an excellent question. I think somebody said that she was spotted in a hallway not too terribly long ago. But she doesn't. The last I've heard is that she's not actually in the court. And the tricky thing about that is, since there's no constitutional requirement for a Supreme Court justice, there's no number of Supreme Court justices specified in the Constitution. Says the Supreme Court must have a Chief Justice, and that's all. So technically, as long as John Roberts shows up, good to go as far as the Constitution is concerned. So it kind of makes for an interesting question. I personally think that if I never ever want to be accused, not even question misquoted, I just don't want to be thought of this way. I don't want to be thought of as a guy who wishes physical harm or death on any of his political opponents. So I hope she makes a full recovery and goes and spends some time with her grandchildren. But if she were to leave the court, then I don't think that the Democrats would. I think they would do anything within their power to stop whoever is replacing her until at least after the 2020 election. And I thought, man, that's low. Then I realized, well, right now we have a 5-4 majority on the court, and if it turns out that Ruth Bader Ginsburg goes to visit her grandchildren, then we would have not a 5-4 majority, we'd have a 5-3 majority. So that's okay. But we saw the progressive escalation of what happened, and I have to tell you, I just simply couldn't believe what happened to Brett Kavanaugh. So we had Neil Gorsuch replacing Scalia, replacing a conservative. They fought nasty for him, but they knew that was just a replacement. Then you had a moderate being replaced by Brett Kavanaugh, and you saw the most disgraceful display of politics I've seen in this country personally. And if not only a liberal, but if the arch liberal, if the what's the word I'm looking for? I almost said the uber liberal, anyway, the proto liberal, whatever. You know, the person who really is not just another liberal vote, but is in fact kind of the entire soul of the progressive movement. If she were to go, and then Donald Trump were to replace her with a conservative, the left would lose their minds, and they're going to lose their minds. I really thought, well, what would they do? They would do anything. I mean, really, I no longer have the imagination to figure out what they would do. I know that looks like Amy Coney Barrett is. It did look like Trump was actually, when Kavanaugh came up, looked like Trump had a really strong woman judge, and it looked like he was holding on to her to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and that will take a little of it out, but they're going to lose their mind because I've said this 100 times, and I know I don't want to just keep repeating it, but it's just so important. The court is everything for them. The United States of America, control of the United States of America is based on progressivist premise. You know, she's a Decepticon, all right. The progressives control politics in America by controlling the court. They don't have to get 150 million people to vote for them. They don't have to get a majority of 435 of the people that live in a democracy in this country to vote for them. All they have to do is get 5 people out of 9 to agree with them. And if they do that, then they can simply strike down laws they don't like and legislate laws that they do like, both of which are unconstitutional, but that train sailed quite a long time ago, at least for, at least as far as the communists are concerned. And, you know, I kept thinking they'll do anything to block her. But then that's when the comfort of it came to me, you know. It's like, okay, so if she goes to visit her grandchildren, instead of an 5-4 majority, we'll have a 5-3 majority. I like it even better. In fact, all the remaining liberal judges could retire, and Congress could fight tooth and nail to avoid Donald Trump appointing any of them, in which case we'd have a 5-0 Supreme Court. Of course, the instant that a Democrat gets into the presidency, then needless to say, those other 4 seats would be appointed overnight. But anyway, it's just another tedious point on the graph of just, you know, they'd rather rule over the ruins than share power in this country. I just can't understand. I can't abide by people watching them destroy the country as they claim they're trying to save it. It's just gone beyond lying or this or that or disagreement. It's just evil as far as I can see. Okay, let's see what's going on here.